Very cool. Welcome back to the channel. It's a Friday night. It's looking like it could be quite clear, and I am super excited tonight because we could have a once in 20-year Aurora event here in the UK. Well, not just in the UK, across Northern Europe. Hopefully it'll hold on long enough to go over Northern America as well, and possibly down to mid-latitude and even southern mid-latitude, kind of Mediterranean latitudes in Europe. Over the last few days, an enormous sunspot group has been building on the sun, and over the last 24-48 hours that has been firing off flares and coronal mass ejections left, right and centre. The impact of that is that some of those are heading towards the Earth and started to hit about 2 or 3 hours ago while it was still light, and had it been dark at that point, I have no doubt whatsoever that we would have seen with the naked eye some incredible aurora right down to the south coast of the UK, and I dare say well into Europe as well. I've not seen aurora data like that for a long time, but as we know, aurora can be very fickle, even up in the Arctic Circle, as I found out earlier this year. But I'm hoping tonight we get a tremendous display. So tonight I am back at the Mullard Radio Observatory just outside Cambridge. At the moment I'm just by the sub-millimetre array, which is an operating telescope. You can probably hear some of those dishes are moving right now. I'm not actually going to be shooting in front of these. I'm planning tonight to shoot in front of the 1 mile telescope, that beautiful skeletal telescope structure that I shot some star trails over earlier this year. There are plans afoot to build a large solar farm around that site, so I don't know how long that wonderful telescope is going to be available for me to go and shoot. So getting some amazing aurora over that would be fantastic. So that is where I'm heading today, and I've just come down to this array because one day I want to come and shoot this, and possibly later tonight I will try and shoot the Milky Way over it. As before, we've got permission to be on this site. It's owned by the University of Cambridge. There are some footpaths around so you can get reasonably close, but where I am right now is private property, and it's a real privilege to be allowed here. But anyway, I'm going to go and set up my first time lapse of the night, and hopefully as soon as it gets properly dark we will start to see some aurora on camera at least, and I really hope with the naked eye as well.
sure you remember the 1 mile telescope from a few months ago. This beautiful structure, I think, would look exceptionally cool in front of a sky filled with aurora. So I want to do some other shots tonight as well. So I'm going to set up a time lapse from the south side of this looking north with a fairly wide angle lens. So hopefully, if we get some good auroral activity, I'll capture that on the 14mm somehow. I'm going to take it from just the other side of these fences here, so almost due south of it. Unfortunately, I can't go into this field right now because it is now planted up, so I'm having to stay along the margins and along the pathways along the side. So that will alter my composition a little bit. But I still think if the aurora kicks off, it's going to be awesome one way or the other. Okay, kind of the moment of truth really. Okay, so it's blue hour first of all, worth noting. However, you're going to have to convince me quite hard to say there isn't some very strong purple in the sky right there. Which is amazing. It's not even dark yet. That direction. It could be light pollution, of course, so I could be getting a bit excited too soon. But no way. That is definitely a purple sky. Guys, we've got purple, and it's blue hour, so purple or red aurora in Cambridgeshire in front of this iconic structure. I'm wearing a t-shirt, although I'm quite cold. This is going to be a phenomenally exciting night. The purples on the back of this camera are really deep. I'm now pointing kind of northeast, and there is no mistaking it. This is a very strong aurora, still in the blue hour here. I'm absolutely gobsmacked. I'm going to start a time lapse. This might not be the most coherent video I ever make, but for me personally, I think it's going to be one of the most memorable. Okay, so there we are, time lapsing away. I'm at ISO 3200, 2-second exposure with a 1-second interval. I'm at f2.8 on the 14mm Samyang lens using the unmodified Canon 6D, and I do have a dew heater on, so I'm hoping this time lapse goes on for some time. I'm shooting at quite a fast interval and a short shutter speed because if this starts getting really feisty and pillars start moving quite quickly, I want to get as much detail in those pillars as possible, so I don't want the pillars to be smudged in any way. I'm convinced you can see that on camera. This is Cambridgeshire, this is 52 degrees north. It's not even fully dark. There's still a crescent moon up, and I can see with my eyes the auroral arc. I can see from the northeast the arc going behind the telescope there. I can't see any dancing in it or anything like that, but I'm sure these cameras are picking up. So, cameras, got 2 time lapses going. Told you about the 14mm earlier. I'm with the Sigma 24mm f1.4 lens, stopped down to f2.8, exactly the same settings as on the 14mm. So I am doing 2-second exposure, ISO 3200, f2.8, and I have got a 1-second interval between them. So there's a nice rhythm between these cameras at the moment. And on the back of the camera, it's just popping. And this is huge. This is huge. Okay, let's have a quick update. It is now 5 to 11, so it is now properly dark, and this is now beginning to look and feel like a proper Aurora show. It is properly dark, so anything I see in the sky isn't twilight, it's Aurora. And look, this band is really thick. It's got so much sort of striation in it, so much movement, so much structure in it. I can see in that direction the sky is so much redder than elsewhere. It's just a phenomenal sight. And the arc is quite a long way off the horizon. It wouldn't surprise me if you're in the polar regions right now and it was dark, which is not in the polar regions, if you'd be having to look due south to see all this. And I can see movement, I can see structure, I can see pillars, and they are going to the naked eye, I'm going to say 50 to 60 degrees up, and I suspect on camera if I looked overhead they'd be there as well. Word's obviously got out because I can see some people parking, I can see some lights coming over here. I've got some friends who I think you met on a previous video over at the other side of the Mullard Radio Observatory at the moment. And I guess they will probably be staying there. This could be them coming over, but I suspect this is other people. So it's now 10 past 11. Hopefully you can see that right behind me. By eye, that is the reddest pillar I've ever seen, even in Norway. We've got right overhead now, all the way overhead, pillars, the arc, it's red over on the western side there as well. We've got 180 degree aurora that is bright. We can see reds, we can see pinks, we can see greens, right overhead. I think we might even going to get a corona, so I'm going to just move the video camera up. Look at that overhead. That is absolutely phenomenal. Wow. Okay, let's just take stock of what we can see here. So you're looking due north there. Right overhead and back and beyond, we've got pink pillars. And then if we look round to the west, look at that. In fact, if we look south, we've got an auroral arc going south of us. And then if I swing back round to the east, so there's north again and east, we've got a really red over there. I've never seen it this colourful before. Absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so the ridiculousness continues. We're now right underneath the 1 mile here. I'm doing a time lapse with the 24mm from under here, and we've got pillars that are converging right overhead. We've got Aurora to the far west, we've got Aurora to the far east. And it's absolutely incredible. There's got a small crowd of people have gathered now. In fact, some people I know have turned up as well, which is fantastic. Just amazing to give people the opportunity to see and photograph an event like this, which they will remember for the rest of their lives. It's amazing. Okay, so we've got the drone up, and hopefully you can see it just behind me there against the backdrop of Red Aurora. Just to remind you, that's Red Aurora in Cambridgeshire in the UK to the south. And I'm doing a course-locked hyperlapse, just a short one because I haven't got much battery on this pack at the moment, but I might do another one later. And the idea is to sort of go around the dish, so hopefully this will work quite well. I've not done a nighttime course-locked course-locked hyperlapse before, so hopefully this will work out quite nicely. I'm a little bit nervous that right here I'm shooting towards Cambridge a bit, but I think this Aurora is so strong, hopefully it won't matter. Let's see what we've got here. Yeah, that's pretty insane. So this is 14mm, probably not the best lens to use, but I might get a decent composition and then set up another time lapse. Okay, I think we're ready to go. Same settings as earlier. Canon 6D, 14mm, f2.8, ISO 3200, 2-second exposure, 1-second interval. And hopefully a cool time lapse. The great thing about time lapsing here is these dishes are in use. They're moving around a little bit over the course of the night, so hopefully we'll get some movement in those as well. And I might go and get the 24mm and set it up a bit further up the road there. So in the middle of Cassiopeia, we've got those purple, almost blue pillars. Let's just tweak the focus a bit there. That's probably a bit better for you. Look at that. Just amazing. Pillar I was talking about going overhead. There it is, it goes right overhead. It's more than, in fact, oh, it's almost like we've got a corona, but it's over that way. Oh, I just don't know what to say. That was pretty cool watching that spin around and hearing it spin around. Amazingly precise motors that these huge dishes sit on. Just an amazingly impressive array, and even more than impressive because I can again still see visible aurora. Got pillars over there. We had a really bright red pillar, which you'll probably see on one of the time lapses just over the back of these dishes a short while ago. The sky is visibly light, like super light. Feels like it's dawn and it's not. It's 1:30. Obviously just about got the wrong target. Just adjusting it. Amazing. So by eye, it almost looks like there's light that's raining down from the eastern horizon to the western horizon. So there's very clear structure, patterns in the aurora. The pillars you can just about see dancing as well. It really is amazing. This is infinitely better than the aurora we captured in February in Arctic Norway. And we were there during a phenomenally quiet patch. And if you got aurora like this in the UK a couple of times a year, then you probably wouldn't go to Norway. But it really is beautiful. Well, probably makes sense to end this video here. I'm going to stay out shooting until it gets to dawn. Nights like this don't come around very often. I imagine there are going to be thousands and thousands of amazing images online tomorrow. I was joined over at the 1 Mile Telescope, you probably heard on the video, by a few people. There was a guy and his little daughter who was so excited to come out, really knowledgeable about space, just found the whole thing unbelievably exciting. I'm pretty sure one of their pictures tonight will end up on their wall at home. And then a couple of people that I've met online before happened to pop down that way as well. Someone through a work connection, and someone who lives actually in the village, a couple of villages over. So it's great to meet people. A really good atmosphere there. People just so excited and enthralled by what they've seen above their head. This is easily up there with some of the best I've seen in Norway, and all from the UK. So first of all, I really hope that you were able to get out and see this. I appreciate a lot of people have been clouded out, but if you weren't cloudy, I'm pretty convinced this would have been visible in every part of the UK. I suspect this was visible from central London if you'd taken photographs too. It'd be really interesting to see if some people have done some images there. Anyway, once again, thanks so much for watching and wittering on. This has been a fantastic night, one of the most memorable nights of astronomy and astrophotography I've ever done. So good that you could join me, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one, which probably, but I'm not sure, probably will be noctilucent clouds, because we are beginning to lose darkness in the UK, and in the summer we still get noctilucent clouds. So great to see you. Thanks for coming. Like, subscribe, etc., etc. See you soon.